Welcome back, everyone. We've got a treat for you today. If you're not familiar with Rejig, you're going to have some fun because we use them and a whole bunch of other people are using them now. They're growing pretty fast. Matt, I'm excited to talk to you today, man.
It's great to see you, Tristan. I'm glad that we called each other in advance and coordinated our outfits.
Dude, I know we look exactly the same. Oh, that's funny. All right. AI avatars and market reports. I think those two hit at the core of how Instagram Reels and TikToks and YouTube Shorts really are optimized by our world. Because I'm scrolling through on TikTok and I'm watching tours of just homes blow up and build the brand. And then I'm also watching reports, whether they're static or video, right? Of areas get shared and saved, and that's all working together to help us. Where do we start with that when it comes to Rejig?
So I think the way I would start with it is when we're talking to folks, and we now work with dozens, if not hundreds, of Lab Coat Agent viewers like the ones here today. Oftentimes what I'll hear is people are a little bit lost in terms of like how to really orient themselves around social media and how it can help support their business. So I thought what we would do today is I would almost just use a single story about something that's happening here in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
And that I know from having spoken to people all over the country seems to be recurring in every single place. And that is that, and I know you cover it, housing affordability is a real challenge. Building is a real challenge. So, which means it's really difficult for people to find places that are affordable for them to live in many cases. So there's a story happening in San Francisco right now where they're putting essentially 2,500 new units on the market in a neighborhood that was previously like a naval waterfront. And so what I thought we would do today is we would use a story about a affordable housing building that's been put up with 105 market rate or like below market rate apartments, which in San Francisco is still freaking $1 million. It's nuts.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy to watch.
It's crazy I live not far from there, and I don't know how young families do it here today. But what I thought I would do is I could show you how we can take a single story. We can create an avatar video from that. We can create a market report video from that. Perfect. We can find information that's local to the areas where these places are being built. Because if I look at this from the standpoint of a real estate agent who's trying to drive listings, if you are trying to get me to, work with you or buy a place with you, I want to understand that you are not only knowledgeable about what's happening, but also what's happening in the community around these places that you're trying to help us buy and sell. So if that works for you, Tristan, maybe that's where we would dive in.
Let's go.
All right. So let me do this. Let me share my screen. All right. And let's do this. Okay. So can you see this story here that I have pulled up here?
I got you, man. That's the middle income housing is scarce.
Yep. Here's how this San Francisco project actually got built. And so this is a story about a new 105 unit building that was published in the San Francisco Standard, which is one of the local publications here in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop into Rejig. And what I did is I took this story, and in this case, Rejig actually found this story for me, but I had this story turned into a post in Rejig. And so just for everybody on the call who hasn't seen this before, essentially like Rejig took this story about a hyperlocal piece of news that's relevant specifically for you as real estate agents, and it created a social media post from it. And it's going to leverage whatever brand assets you want for that story. So you give us your, I mean, you know this, Tristan, you give us your brand assets, your font guidelines, your color schemes, and then you're going to have a Rejig account that is going to create a story for you automatically with your branding on it. So that's first and foremost. you find a piece of local news that's relevant for your business, or more specifically, Rejig finds that piece of content for you. And you can see it created a really detailed social media post where it's pulling in details from the story. It's actually providing a link back to the post on the San Francisco Standard. It's adding hashtags. So first thing, as an agent on this call, what they would do is they could take this story and then they could share it immediately. Their Rejig account is going to be connected to Instagram, to Facebook, to Google Business, to LinkedIn. So single click, you can take that story, publish it across all 4 places. You know the value of this, Tristan. So what I then did, though, is I took that same story and I dropped it into Rejig. And now this is where the fun starts, which is you can have Rejig take any story and create a video from it. So I asked Rejig to take the story about this middle income housing project that's being built, and I had it turn it into a video. And then I asked Rejig to turn that into a video that's narrated in my voice and by my AI avatar. And so I'm now going to play a couple of seconds of that video. And I think before I do, the idea is, and maybe Tristan, you can kind of elaborate a little bit this on what you've seen, but like, we're trying to take content that's hyper local and relevant for agents and have it created automatically in a way that's a little bit more engaging. And that's, you can probably elaborate on why you think that's so important, right, Tristan?
Dude, I think we are in a world where, well, first of all, Karen, great question. It's Rejig, Rejig.ai. Just if everybody wants to take a look at that online while Matt's showing that. But I think it becomes more important now with all the information overload that we're getting.
Yep.
It's becoming more important for us to interpret what this means for those people that we're trying to attract. And hopefully you're trying to do it in a very niched local pattern.
Yep.
That's why I gravitate to Rejig, because they allow me to do that, which I want to see what this looks like now, Matt.
Yeah, and what I also would say too, well, let's show the video, and then I have a little thing that I would build off of this. So I'm going to play, it created essentially, just to kind of set the table, basically Rejig took that story. You can see it created an 80-second video, so a pretty deeply researched video on that topic. In the post underneath the video, it also wrote up a really detailed summary of it. So I'll play the first 10, 15 seconds of it. Let me make sure. Can you hear that, Tristan?
I cannot, but I can see it.
Let me do something here. I don't know if there's like special sharing settings I need to do here to make sure people can hear my audio.
I think once you click on share, it's going to give you the option to like, hey, share sound too, I think. I
should have done this beforehand, but
no problem, man. As you're doing that, I will show you some examples of some of our friends who are using this as well consistently. And I think what Rejig helps you do is it helps you show up locally, consistently, not just with relevant content that matters to your local audience, like where's a new place to eat, what's happening locally, like museums, events, but also what's happening in the news, like what Matt is showing right here, specifically to housing. All right, we got you.
All right, so let's back this up. So I think, and let's just give it 1 second and I'll make sure you can hear it.
San Francisco just opened.
Can you hear that?
Yep.
Perfect. Right.
105 brand new apartments specifically priced for middle income earners. The 6-story Sophie Maxwell building anchors the first phase of the 29-acre Potrero Power Station redevelopment on the eastern waterfront.
So all of that, basically that entire video was created automatically by Rejig, and just to kind of show you underneath the hood a little bit here.
Developer.
So what's going to happen is the AI took that story about this new housing development in San Francisco. It did additional research on it, and then it created the video, and it also created a script. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit edit video, and just to kind of walk people quickly through, like, basically the AI wrote a script, which you can see in edit here,
Yeah.
It pulled in for every step of the way. It pulled in like specific images that we can replace, specific B-roll footage that we've licensed that the agent can replace. So it becomes a way to create these really, really deeply researched videos very, very quickly on basically any topic. And what we've seen, and I think you've seen this as well, Tristan, what we've seen is basically you just see a ton more engagement and a lot more, our agents show up in a way that's a lot more personalized and a
Yeah.
lot more authoritative. And I think that is one of the things that we hear from our agent partners that they're really looking for. And what you can do is you can essentially sit down and create 15 or 20 of these videos in like 30 to 45 minutes. Like it's pretty simple. And it becomes a really powerful way for agents to like really demonstrate what's happening locally, which tends to be something these days that we're hearing from clients is like one of the things that is driving the most value with their current or prospective clients. So I'll pause there. Any questions on how that component works? Because then I want to talk about how you can then build market reports and additional information around this area. But anything that I should touch on there?
I have one question. How is localized content and providing that automatically?
How does it do it?
Yeah, like show me where that happens. So it automates. What happens on this end?
Yeah, great question. So what we'll do, and just to kind of orient people who haven't seen this before, you're looking at the dashboard of Rejig. If you sign up, you're going to have your own dashboard. And during the onboarding process, we are going to personalize things so that the AI is curating information that's relevant for you. And a couple of ways that you can do that is you can either set custom news sources, and you can see here, I've gone a little bit crazy. This is a demo account, so there's kind of a couple things going on in here, but you can see 7x7 is a very famous magazine here in San Francisco, the San Francisco Weekly Art Museum publication, San Francisco Standard. So basically, for those of you who haven't seen this board before, just to summarize it, you are setting the custom news sources that you want your AI to utilize when it is going out and finding information for you. That is one of the ways that you can customize things. So when you find a story, just to show you another story that the AI curated automatically, when you find a story like this, which is San Francisco's hottest homegrown establishments are flocking to Mission Bay. The reason that the AI curated this story is because this, and I absolutely love this picture. This is like an old, like 1800 era fire station, that brick building.
That's so cool.
That those buildings around it are the OpenAI offices. So you have this, or actually, no, those might be the UCSF hospital. Anyways, you've got these massively modern buildings built around this kind of old fire station, which is awesome. But the reason that the AI curated this story, and just to kind of show you what it did, in this case, the AI went out and found this story on a place called Mission Local, which is another hyperlocal publication. And just one thing that I would point out to people, this story was published 10 days ago. So it is brand new and current. So the AI went out and found that story because the AI knew that in this case, I'm looking for content that's specific to San Francisco. To answer your question, Tristan, like for anybody that signs up during the onboarding process, we're asking you what your service areas are. We're asking you what type of clientele you're trying to serve, whether it's like move-up buyers or people who are downsizing or people you focus on relocation or veterans, whatever the case may be. We're essentially training the AI to find stuff that is relevant for the business, and then it's going to go out and find things automatically. And then, as we've been talking about, any of those stories can be turned into avatar videos if you want to make them more engaging. Does that answer the question?
It does, man. And also, Alex brings up a good question too. Do we have to clone ourselves when we join Rejig?
Great question, Alex. There's a way, like a lot of what I'm showing you now, where the AI is going to go out and curate local news and market reports like we're going to talk about in a second, or all of your listings. You don't need to have yourself cloned to do that. If you want to have your own AI avatar, then yes, we need to have you basically record a 3-minute video of you speaking. You send it to us. Our team will essentially digitize you. And then we'll be able to have your AI avatar, sort of like I was showing you on that screen where you've got a script. The AI avatar is going to say whatever that script says. So I always feel like it's a little bit like Anchorman.
Yeah.
whatever you put in that script, the AI is going to say.
That's funny.
So don't do FU San Diego at the end of that one.
That is funny, Alex. Yeah, you don't have to, but you should if you want, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you could also just clone your voice too. You don't even need to clone your video.
Yeah,
It could just be your voice.
and for lab code agents, anybody who signs up for 6 months, you get the AI voice clone for free. So to your point, Tristan, you can get that regardless. And you can always add the avatar later. Now, again, the way I'm trying to just present this today is I want to kind of take this one story. So for those of you, maybe there's people on this call who are from the Bay Area, but where this place is being built is in a neighborhood that was previously pretty desolate. There's not a lot going on. So now there's all this massive investment going on in the area. And so that's why the AI went out and curated this story about like Mission Bay is a neighborhood adjacent to what's called the Dog Patch, which is where this new 105 unit building is being built. So the AI went out and found this story because from our perspective, at least, if you're a real estate agent trying to convince me to move into a neighborhood that was previously totally desolate, like why? You would need to sell me on like, hey, this is like the hottest up and coming neighborhood in San Francisco. There's all these restaurants. The Giants are there. The Warriors are there. Like there's all this stuff happening along the waterfront. And so the AI is going out and curating stuff like that. Now, the other thing that you can have Rejig do, and I'll show you how I did it, is you can also have the AI go out and curate these market reports. In this case, this is a market report for condos in the Dog Patch neighborhood of San Francisco. And you could see there was only 6 of them sold in San Francisco, in this neighborhood in April. And this is actually an aerial view of the Dog Patch neighborhood. So just to show people what we did, like I basically went into Rejig, I hit this create button, and then I hit market data, and I asked it to create I looked up Dog Patch, which is the technical neighborhood name of where this place is being built. I looked up Dog Patch. In this case, I'm going to have it create a market report for all the single family homes being already sold in the area. Okay. I'm going to hit select templates. And Tristan, you mentioned at the beginning being able to create both static and video market reports. So I'll create both a normal post, aka non-video, and then I'll create a video post for this area as well. I'm going to hit generate posts. You can see that Rejig is creating something. When we go back to the home page here in a couple of seconds, you can see at the top here, it's going to go, there we go. It already did it. So here it is.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, right? And so now let me do also the video, and then it also creates a video for this as well. So.
Oh, it creates a video without me too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to pull. I don't know why it didn't pull in the data there, but it'll pull in, basically, it'll create videos, market report videos and market reports automatically for any area. You can basically do that for literally any place. So,
I have a question on that, Matt. Does it, when it's pulling the market report I see the images, is it pulling stock images, or is it creating images from like Nano Banana 2 or something?
Stock images. So let's do this. It's stock images, but that's a really fun question too. So like, I'm going to just do one for San Francisco, and then I'm going to do single family residential. So I'm going to create a market report for all of San Francisco. And then I want to show you what we can do here is it's using stock photography. One of the questions that we will get asked, and it's the right question for people to ask, which is, do I have to worry at all about like where these images are being sourced from? So what I'm doing here is I created a market report for all of San Francisco, and you can see the median sales price is $2.1 million, which that's freaking nuts.
That is crazy.
But this is actually a stock this is a stock photo. I actually think it's a stock photo from Berkeley looking into the Bay Area. So if I wanted to replace that, I would just hit edit. And then I'm just going to click on the image, and you'll see that we have like image galleries built into Rejig where they can source content that we have licensed. So do San Francisco, and let's see what we've got. And so you can see we've got story blocks, pixels, Pixabay. So I don't know. Let's try this cool photo of the Golden Gate Bridge and see if I like that. There you go. So, and all of this content has been licensed, so agents don't have to worry about it. But basically, we have a searchable gallery in here where they can swap out their own images. Because let's say, Tristan, you put in, I think you're in like, the Valley. Like if you put in you wanted to create a market report for Thousand Oaks. Rejig is not automatically going to pull in a photo of Thousand Oaks. So you could swap it out with your own. You could also upload your own images here. But
got it.
And we are licensing probably 5 million images from Storyblocks, Pixels, Pixabay. So there should be something for everybody. And then this is what the final market report looks like. So and then you can also turn that same thing with videos. It took that same data, also created a market report for us in video format.
Oh, that's cool, dude.
So it's going to drop onto the agent's contact info, fully personalized. When I hit share, because this is a piece of video content, it's going to go to your Instagram, your Facebook, your Google Business, your LinkedIn, your YouTube, your TikTok. When we're actually connected to an agent's social media presence, just so everybody on the call knows, it will give you the ability to send to Facebook feed, reels and stories, Instagram feed, reels and stories, YouTube shorts, YouTube. So like it supports basically every video format. And then once we have you up and running within Rejig, all of this most of this content is being created for you automatically, with the exception of the avatar videos, which you need to make a decision on, like, okay, which of these stories do I actually think is worthwhile, and that I want to have a kind of deeper video created on that. Does that make sense?
It does. There's a question that has to do with all of this. Brenda, what's up, Brenda? Are all of the images free?
Yes.
Perfect. Great question. And that Leon's asking, where do we find the AI avatar? Where is it that we find it here?
Yeah, so what you would do here, let me go back into Rejig, apologies. So what you do is you come up here and you ask the AI to create something for you. You can, by the way, I asked it to take a story. Like I asked it to take, if we remember, I asked it to take this story. I literally just copied this URL, went over to Rejig, pasted that URL in here, and I gave it a little bit of additional prompting. I'm not going to do this right now, but I just said, create a video from this story, use B-roll footage from San Francisco. And then I just created a video from there. And now, so then it creates the avatar. Now, Leon, to answer your question, your avatar is kind of exists in your account, but what you would do is if you wanted to go make any changes to it, now I'm going to go down to the avatar video that I created, and then you can see when I hit edit video, I'll just kind of do a couple of quick things here. So you can see here, this is where we have your avatar stored associated with this video. And then if you wanted to make any changes to the kind of speed, I am a very impatient individual. So you'll notice I asked my avatar to speak very fast. It ends up not sounding as fast as you would think it would. But you can basically come in here. I think you've done a little of this, Tristan. You can come in here and kind of manipulate.
I'm a naturally slow speaker, so I have to do that.
Yeah, I'm like, you're right, because I listen to myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so slow. What I thought I would do at the end here, and hopefully that answers your question, Leon. What I thought I would do at the end here is pull up a couple of examples. So like, just to kind of land
San
the
Francisco.
point, this YouTube video.
So I remember this one.
Yeah. So I thought I would show this one to people who haven't seen this before, and then I'll show them a couple of other examples also basically very local piece of news in San Francisco. And I know Diplo did this in LA too, but was Diplo, a very famous DJ, was doing these fun runs in Golden Gate Park. And then he was doing them all over the country, but did one in Golden Gate Park. And I asked Rejig to create a video of it for me. And I'll play a couple of seconds of it because you can see that like when it cuts B-roll footage of San Francisco, that's sourced by Rejig. This background image is from the story. And then I'll show people why I thought this was interesting.
Lace up and turn up. Diplo's Run Club is back in the Bay Area and bigger than ever. The ultimate reimagined 5K experience hits Golden Gate Park this Saturday, October 11th, with an after party you won't forget.
So I think the up to people on this call how much they think that looks and sounds like me. That's my AI avatar. That's not actual Matt. But the reason that I wanted to show this to people is like, when you find interest, and you know more about this than any of us, but like when you find the right story, or you can like find something that really resonates with
this
people, like this story got 12,000 views on YouTube and another 3,000 views on Instagram. And so I think the point for people is just like, it becomes a pretty low effort way for you to create video content. I will also say, and Tristan, I don't know how you feel about this, but like, we also make it really easy for you to load up your own. Like if you actually take video of yourself, you can load video into Rejig and it will take that video, add your little brand assets to it. It will automatically add subtitles because more than 60% of people who are watching video don't have the sound on. So like, the one thing I always say to people too is, as much as I think these AI avatars are cool and can be very, very impactful, like it's also not that hard to create your own video content and leverage it in Rejig as well. So I just feel like
this is true, man.
And I feel obliged to say that every time, because, you know, I want people to know they don't have to like go to the ends of the earth from a tech perspective.
I'll add one thing that we do with Rejig, because I have Rejig on right now on my end. And one thing that I do in the mornings and during breaks is I typically go to the Wall Street Journal, Housing Wire, realtor.com/news, Redfin/news, and I'm reading all the time. And I'm like, damn, that's a good one. And I grab it and I throw it onto the link above, and it just creates the image, the words, everything for me. If I just send myself the article and then upload it to Rejig or just click it. And so, dude, that saves us so much time.
I love it. I love
that. That's a beautiful thing. I've got two questions here, 3 questions.
All right.
Well, got a lot of questions. Leon, he says, I purchased the premium package last month through EXP, the EXP Seattle Rally on the 6-month special.
What's up, Leon?
But it says upgrade required for the avatar.
So yeah, if you did the $600, you have the voice clone for free, Leon, and just reach out to me separately if you haven't gotten that done yet. But you do need to upgrade for an additional $100 a month if you want the AI avatar videos. So you have the AI voice clone for free as part of your EXP subscription. But yeah, reach out to me separately, Leon. I know you have my details.
Perfect. And Amanda says, this is a great idea to promote local events and news. Amanda, that's it exactly. I was trying to share my screen. For some reason, it's not sharing. But what just happened, because we've been using Rejig more, you've watched it, Matt, and we're trying to just get involved with it more. We posted one on a specific property in LA, Beverly Hills area. And now it's getting shared. Ours is a very small account for Tristan and Associates compared to the rest of our channels. But now it's being shared by all these massive channels that were mentioned on this. So Rejig grabbed the right content and just now, because we did, is being shared. And I think that's the other piece to this. The ability for it to be shared because it's trending or relevant to your specific area. That's why I love what Amanda said. Local events, local news, really important. Denise, I'm liking this idea better than paying someone $600 or more a month to create video content. Denise, I think you're on the right track here, because the way that this works is his team, Matt's team, is they're always looking at ways to improve this for us. And I think that the thing that we forget is this isn't our primary job for most agents. It shouldn't be going in here, building out the marketing, looking at the right articles, shooting a video about the area. That is just not what we do. Our job should be, once people engage, we're building those relationships. We're going out there and meeting people. We're going showing property. We're doing listing presentations. And this allows us to be able to focus on the important things. And that's why I love where AI is going with the companies like Rejig. Really good point, Denise. I love that. What do you want to add to that, Matt? Anything?
I mean, there's so much, I think, just in terms of like, Rejig will also connect to all of your places that you get testimonials. It can take your listings and turn them into videos and posts and all of this stuff for you as well. So from our perspective, it's like any aspect of your job as a real estate agent, and especially if you're thinking about hiring somebody, I think you could even hire a VA and use Rejig and still be less than that $600.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, like, because I think about it, even with the VAs who are awesome, it's like, how is somebody who's on the other side of the world going to know what's happening locally to your, like if you're Leon and you're like in the Tacoma, Washington area, how is somebody supposed to know what the heck is happening locally? Like, I don't know what the heck is happening locally on the other side of the world. So I think that's where the technology aspect of this becomes really important, is you can just use it in a way to do 97% of the work for you. And then it's either up to the agent to finalize things, or you can have a VA help you. And I just think there's a lot more ways to do that in a cost-effective fashion. So please just scan that QR code. It's going to put time on the calendar with our team. You're going to get a great discount thanks to our friend Tristan and company. But yeah, we'd love to. That was super fun. Oh, one more question.
I have a question, because I signed up way a long time ago. What are the current pricing tiers?
Yeah, 100%. So you can go to Rejig.ai. I'll pull it up here in a second, but there's a $100 a month version and there's a $150 a month version. Those are for the base kind of Rejig access. If you want the avatar on top of that, that is an additional $100 a month. So you are looking at an investment of $200 or $250 a month, depending on how much.
So if I'm going and doing this for $250 a month, right?
Yep.
With the full-on avatar, and then everything else is included. Is there a limit to how many avatars I'm allowed to, avatar videos I'm allowed to do, or how does that
Yeah,
work?
so for most people, we start them at 15. And then if we find that they're actually using the 15 videos in a given month, then we'll bump them up to 30. But we start at $100 for 15 videos.
Got it. Okay. So hold on, let me find you on the screen. There it is. $250 for the avatar, 15. That's about one every other day, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, dude. And how often, or what have you seen as far as, let's just say we start with the minimum, which is just the news, the market reports. How often are we posting a day or a week?
I'd love your input on this. I'm typically telling people, unless they're like you, who's just like really oriented around this, I'm telling people that consistency over time is what really matters, and aim for anywhere from like 3 to 7 posts a week. Like, you've got a testimonial on Tuesday, you've got a market report on Monday, you've got some things to do on Thursday or Friday, you've got one of your listings, if you have any, over the weekend. Like, because I feel like for most people who aren't you, Tristan, it's really difficult for them to consistently post multiple times a day.
Well, it used to be, until we add something like this. This is why I'm asking, like, if you've got this, My job for this would be like, okay, now that I've got this, what can I automate through this? That means every listing, market reports, and daily news. Dude, I would do daily news. I'd do twice a day if
Well,
I
watch
could.
this. I'm logging into the live account of a really high performing agent just because I can, and I just want to show people what it looks like when
Oh,
you
thanks.
see,
Appreciate it.
somebody who is operating at a high level. That's the content. So this is like once you start scheduling stuff through Rejig. I'm sharing the wrong tab. Once you start scheduling stuff through Rejig, you get a calendar view of when
Oh,
you
this
have
is
things.
cool, dude.
Yeah. So this is a gentleman by the name of Steve Froggett, awesome agent down in the Florida area for Kai's. And you can see what he's posting multiple times a day. And he told me that this takes him 2 minutes to schedule out a week's worth of content. So to your
That's
point,
it.
so like once you get it rolling, like you can
Okay,
publish
Matt,
quite a bit.
question on this right here.
Yep.
Like, let's say we set this up, took us 2 minutes. Now we got the whole month down. How does it work? Because I don't do this part. How does it work with my listings automatically populating? Is that a separate step?
Yeah. So what you have to do with listings. So in this gentleman's case, we actually have a direct MLS integration because we have a brokerage level partnership with them. For most people, what they need to do is they need to go into listings and they need to make sure they create. Steve's like, why are you showing my account? Basically, what you do is you just hit add new listing, and then you can either put in the address or the MLS ID. And then it's going to pull that in, pull in the images, pull in the property description, and from there you can create all of your listings related assets right there. So
Perfect, man. I love this. All right, one more question. We have a lot of great questions, dude. You did a good job today, man. I like how you shifted this a little bit.
thank you.
Lawrence, how many AI avatars can you create?
We've had some fun with this where we've got like 3-person teams so like think of it as one avatar per account, please. Now, if you operate on a spouse team, like, and you need to, or you've got a business partner and you guys are tied at the hip, like we can create 2, but each Rejig account is connected to one set of social media profiles. So unless you and your partner use the same social media profiles, we technically need 2 accounts. Doesn't mean we're going to charge you twice. So like if you have that scenario, just book time with us and we'll get into it. But typically, to answer that person's question, think of it as one avatar per account. If the other question is, can I change the outfit on my avatar? The answer is yes. We can change your shirt. So Tristan, if you want to have, if you want to have a collared shirt in your avatar,
yeah, that's not going to happen. Sorry. Just a black V-neck. That's about it.
Exactly.
That's funny. All right. A question from me. And Lawrence, reach out, scan the QR code. Have you guys had anyone say, hey, I don't want to be on camera, not even as an avatar. Do you have templated avatars of other humans that we can use that are not real?
I did get asked if we could have them as a talking dog.
Oh, that was my next question. That's funny. Okay, tell me the answers.
Which I haven't done yet. No. So have we had people say they don't want to be on video? 1000%. I hear it all the time. Okay. We don't have generic avatars that they can leverage yet, although I really like that idea. And we have been asked to create a talking dog and a talking cat, but we haven't done it yet.
Dude, I want a talking, this is crazy. I want a talking alien that I can continually reuse. Can you imagine him reporting the news for me? That would be crazy.
You would be the person that would ask for something like that. But no, we haven't done it yet. Honestly, it's more of just a prioritization issue.
Yeah, of course. Talking aliens is at the very end of that, buddy. That's funny.
But reach out to us. Reach out to us with your ideas because like Tristan said, almost everything that we showed you today is the result of somebody asking for it.
Yeah, that's true. Guys, take a look at this. It is amazing. We do use it. We love it. It simplifies a lot of our social. We use it for Tristan and Associates for that Instagram account. And we're barely growing that channel because it had been dead for us for a long time. We're just using Rejig to do that. Amanda said, great session. Lawrence, yeah, check it out. Everybody else, any questions you have that we didn't answer, please reach out to us. You know how to reach me. I'm directly connected to Matt, so I can connect you guys. Have an awesome day, everybody. Thanks for being here. Matt, thanks for doing this, man.
Great to see everybody.